So, Google has just gone and dropped what might be its most powerful AI model ever. And believe me, the early reviews are absolutely buzzing. We're talking about Gemini 1.5 Pro. And look, this isn't just some tiny incremental update. People in the know are calling it a monumental leap forward for AI. So, let's get into it and break down what exactly makes this model so different.
And that's not just some slick marketing line. That's actually the consensus from developers who've gotten their hands on it early. This quote really captures the feeling out there. We're definitely not talking about a minor update. So, what's under the hood that's getting everyone so fired up?
Okay, here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to unpack why this is being called a major leap in AI. Then, we'll look past all the big claims and dive straight into the raw performance numbers. After that comes the really fun part. We'll see how it can turn a simple idea into a finished product, and there are some mind-blowing demos. And finally, we'll tell you exactly how you can get your hands on it. Right, first up, let's look at the big picture. Google isn't just calling this an update, they're framing it as a major step on the path to artificial general intelligence, AGI. That's kind of the holy grail of AI research, right? Where a machine can understand or learn any intellectual task a human can. It's a massive claim, so let's look at the capabilities they say can back it up. The real key here is how all these different abilities work together. We're talking about top-tier reasoning, the power to understand images, video, and audio all at once. That's what multimodal means, plus some seriously incredible coding and planning skills. So when you put all of that together, what do you get? You get an AI that can supposedly turn a simple idea into a fully working app in one single go. Okay, those are some really big claims. But in the world of AI, talk is cheap. The real proof is always in the performance benchmarks. So let's look at the numbers and see how Gemini actually stacks up against the competition. First off, let's talk about reasoning. And we're not talking about solving simple logic puzzles here. We are talking about the AI's ability to tackle incredibly complex academic problems. The kind of stuff you'd see on a PhD exam. On the GPQA Diamond benchmark, which, by the way, is a brutal test made up of graduate-level questions written by actual experts, it scored a staggering 91.9%. Now, to put that into perspective, this test is specifically designed to challenge even human experts in their own fields, and Gemini is just acing it. All right, next up, let's look at a field that has historically been a massive challenge for AI: advanced mathematics. This isn't just about doing arithmetic. It requires really deep, abstract reasoning. So how does Gemini Pro handle it? It scored 23.4% on the Math Arena Apex benchmark. Now, I know what you're thinking. That number might not sound all that impressive, but this specific benchmark is so incredibly difficult that it's considered a new frontier for AI. This score actually sets a new state-of-the-art, blowing past what previous models could do. And then you have its multimodal intelligence. This is its ability to see, hear, and read all at the same time, processing images, video, audio, and text simultaneously. This is a huge area where all the major AI labs are fiercely competing right now. And the result? On the MMU Pro benchmark, a key test for this, it gets a leading score of 81%. This shows it's not just processing data. It's starting to understand the world in a much more holistic, almost human-like way. And this high-level performance isn't just in one area. As you can see right here, it also completely excels in coding, outperforming other leading models on all the key benchmarks. So when you look across the board at its reasoning, its math, its multimodality, and its coding, it's pretty clear this is a truly state-of-the-art model. But hey, benchmarks are just numbers on a chart, right? What does all this power actually look like in practice? Let's move on to what I think is the real magic. This is where we get to see how these scores translate into tangible, creative results that are, frankly, mind-boggling. And the process itself is almost unbelievably simple. You can feed it practically anything: a quick sketch you did on a napkin, a dense PDF document, even your messy handwritten notes. Gemini just analyzes all the visual and text information and then spits out a finished product. Your drawing becomes a website. Your flowchart becomes an interactive lesson. It's like a direct line from a rough idea to a polished execution. This is exactly what people mean when they start calling it a true AI partner. It's not just a tool you give commands to anymore, it's really becoming a collaborator that can help you brainstorm, untangle complex ideas, and actually create something new right alongside you. All right, enough talk. Now for what I think is the most exciting part of this whole thing.
let's actually put Gemini to the test and see what it can build from some seriously challenging prompts. We're going from a simple request to a finished product all in a single shot. So for the first test, the prompt was not simple. The request was to create a complex, really stylish landing page with very specific instructions on everything, from the font and the layout to the overall visual mood. This is the kind of detailed brief that would take a human developer a pretty significant amount of time to get just right. And the result? A fully coded, functional website. I mean, it had dynamic animations, clean formatting from the header all the way to the footer, and even interactive elements that highlight when you hover over them. According to the testers, it absolutely nailed this challenge, better than any other model they've ever seen. Just remarkable. Okay, look, building a website is impressive, but let's really raise the stakes here. The next prompt was something truly ambitious. Create a working clone of the game Minecraft from scratch. And incredibly, it delivered. In a single go, it generated the code for a playable Minecraft clone. You can actually move around, break blocks, place different types of blocks. The core mechanics are all there. For a game generated instantly by an AI, the results is just staggering. So, you've seen the power, you've seen the performance. The obvious next question is, how can I actually use this? And what's the catch? Let's get into those practical details in our final section. Well, the good news is there are already several ways you can get access. For a quick test drive, there's a free preview available in Google AI Studio. For more complex image and video stuff, there's Canvas AI Studio. And for developers, you can plug right into it through API routers or even find free credits through services like KiloCode to get started. But here's the catch. All of this power comes at a price. When you compare it to other high-end models, the cost per token, which you can just think of as little pieces of a word, is significantly higher. We're talking about 7 times more expensive for the information you put in and about 7 times more for the results you get out. This means that, at least for now, it's a premium tool that's probably best suited for really complex, high-value tasks. And all of this really brings us to a huge question. I mean, when an AI can turn a simple sketch into a working game, when it can reason at a PhD level and genuinely collaborate on complex projects, we have to ask ourselves, is this the moment AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming a true creative partner? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.